Hello, Steady as she goes ladies, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about personal life update and kind of how that's going to affect what's going to be going on this channel and the Facebook group and well, mostly this channel, I guess. I don't think that will affect as much of the Facebook group, but we'll get into that in a second. Before I get into that, I just want to say, if you have not invited your friends to the Facebook group, please do that. I don't say that because I have some goal of how many thousand members I want on the group or anything. I say that because one of the main reasons I wanted to start this group was so that we could build a Christian network of women fellowshipping together. And we have about 160 members, which is great. But when I looked at the list, I sort of expected this, but there's only 36 of you that I don't know personally, which means most of you probably already know each other. And so I would really like to build more of a network of people that you don't already know, that you would never interact with if it weren't for this group. And so please invite your friends, even if it's just a few people you can think of, and you can reach out to them personally and say, hey, you know, join us in this group and here's the reasons why and stuff. Let's really get some more Christian women on board that can input or put their own input into this group for God's glory. So that's number one. Number two, the second way I want to see this group growing, and I know we're just getting started, so I'm not really discouraged about this or anything, but I really would like to see some more participation. And again, I know we're just getting started, but what that's going to look like is comments and liking things and, you know, loving things if you really do. But the more you participate in the posts, the more likely other people are to see them. So at least that's what I understand about how Facebook works and everything. So help me out with that. Try to comment on things, try to like things. You know, try to get your friends involved. Maybe if it's something you really hope another Christian sister will see, send it to them personally, or, you know, tag them in the comments or something. But let's really be involved on this group and let's grow it for what we're hoping for it to be, which is a place for us to fellowship. That's how those are my preliminary goals of how that can happen. So before I go on, I do want to say that when I started this group, I really felt like it was the proper time to start it. And I don't know why I just pronounced my T so much, started. But that just threw me off big time. Oh, silly. Okay, I really did feel like it was the right time to begin this group. But I have run into, oh, and just to say, I did a lot of prayer. I felt like we all really needed the fellowship in the midst of the stay-at-home orders and everything, so I feel like it was the right time. But I've run into a bit of a snag, and it's a good snag, but my family is coming up on a very busy season, and that's because we are gearing up to adopt for the first time next month if everything goes as planned. So because we are approaching such a busy season, not only do I need to be there for my family and, you know, get our house ready for this baby and get our family ready for this baby, but I am also just experiencing like some major brain boggle that I wasn't when I started this group a couple of weeks ago. And the way that looks is I am just having a hard time thinking through things clearly because there's so much that I have to think through practically for what's going to be happening very soon. And I think a lot of it is probably due to the fact that this is the first time we've ever adopted, and I'm anticipating how my education on adoption will actually flesh out into what will happen. I am thinking about travel arrangements and will probably still be somewhat in the midst of shutdown orders and everything that's happening with this virus. So there's just a lot to process and a lot to think through. And I found that when I'm looking at the topics I've written down that I want to talk to you about on this channel, that I'm just having a hard time articulating them to myself, even though I have understood these things for quite a while now. And especially when I try to get them out of my mouth, the words are just not coming in a way that I feel will be effective to you. So going forward, at least for the next while, My plan on this channel is to share with you things I'm learning from my devotions, songs that I can share with you, and also things I'm learning from preaching. So those are like the basic things, unless I really do feel like, hey, I can talk about this quickly and I can articulate it clearly. Those are the things that I'm going to be talking about the most. And actually, when I get done filming this video, I'm going to film one about a sermon that was just preached to me that I feel like will be helpful to you. It's from 1 Peter. So look for that at the end of this week. But I do want to read for you some of the ideas that I have so that you can look forward to them in the future when I'm able to really articulate these things. So first, I do plan to talk about schedules of both Bible reading and prayer. And I made a Facebook post earlier today where you can vote which one you would like to hear first, because I just can't make up my mind. So if you have an opinion whether you would like to learn about Bible reading or prayer first, then let me know so I can decide which one to film first. And basically that will just be what's worked for me and, you know, some tips I have for you on those things. I'll be sharing the Bible reading plan that I've been using, stuff like that. So those things are coming soon. The things that are more topical, that I need to work through more, that I think will be eventual things, are the things I'm about to list for you. Christian culture is going to be a big topic on this channel, I anticipate at least, and how we can have pride in it, how it can negatively affect us. So there will be some things on that. And as a subcategory of that, I do want to talk about our view today, or what I have noticed today of how people view hymns, both in both extremes, I guess. People who say like we only sing hymns, and people who say, ugh, hymns, like those are just so old. So I want to talk about that. And then I'm just going to read these titles that I have to you, and I'm going to let you think what you want to for the most part. So I'm going to talk about a freak out moment I had at the beginning of all this coronavirus madness and anxiety with that. Mice, bed bugs, and fleas, oh my birth stories and God's perfect peace in His Word. The fact that I have not overcome my sin and only Christ has. I also want to talk about Philippians 4:13 and how we take that out of context. Setting the stage for the Holy Spirit to work. How productivity can negatively affect us, and what the Christian response to productivity should be. This is just a title. This is exactly what happened. Marbles down the drain. I'm going to tell you how I responded to that and work through that with you. The Sunday morning scramble. Maybe you can already picture what I'm going to be talking about there. I do want to do a basic touch on the prosperity gospel and just kind of introduce to you what that is, and maybe help you to realize whether or not you have been a victim to that false teaching. And another one that I want to just do a basic, just something very basic on, because I don't feel like I know enough about it to wax and wane on it, is soft porn traps for women. So again, that will be very basic. And then also along those lines, I do want to do, I have a few ideas for videos along the lines of purity. And I think a lot of times when we think of purity, we think this is a talk for teenage girls, but I truly believe that the purity talk is for women of all ages, and certainly there are some aspects of it that can be more helpful for teenage girls, but I want to talk about how those sort of talks were presented to me and how they positively and negatively affected me. I also want to talk about how I was kind of a boy crazy girl, and one particular time where I made a crush a major idol of my heart. I'm never going to be sharing people's names or even like what they were like at all. I'm simply going to be sharing what my heart was like in relation to the idols I made there. And then serving our children as we discipline them. My philosophy and experience on how we should dress for church and people's opinions on that. And then using our talents for the Lord. And for me, that is particularly singing. That's my experience. There are other topics that I know I've had ideas on, I just haven't written down. These are just the ones that I have in my journal that I thought I would share with you so you might know some of the things that are coming soon. If you have an idea of something you might want me to talk about or look into talking about, then let me know. I'm never going to share something that I don't feel like I can bring to you biblically. Or if it's something that I just really have zero experience on, I probably won't share that either, but you know, run it by me, see what I can do. Let's see. I think that is really all I have for today. I've got to get going because I've got to do another video, and then I've got like 5 or 6 loads of laundry on my couch that I need to sort and put away. And you heard that right, I did not say fold because I don't really fold my laundry right now. And if you want to know more about that, then let me know and maybe I can do just a very brief why I don't fold my laundry and how it works and all of that. And that could be one of those more practical videos that I was talking about, but whew, it is such a relief not to fold that laundry anymore. So that is all I have. I hope you guys have a really great day. I hope I wasn't talking too fast. I've just got a busy day. And that this was helpful to you and that you can look forward to things for the future. But do remember the things I said about our group. Please invite your friends. Please participate. If we want this group to really grow in fellowship and Christ-likeness, we need to be doing those preliminary things. So do that for me. Do it now even. And I will catch you guys next time. Thank you.